Welcome to Bishop's Court Estate, everybody. I'm Christine, and this magnificent house was built by the Anglican Bishop of Bathurst in 1870. Come on inside. So let me share this gorgeous property with you, and it's probably lovely to tell you how this beautiful property became my greatest love of my life, really. I was a hotel interior designer living in Sydney, and I was looking to buy a property like this, and I had no idea that a property like this existed in Bathurst. And a friend of mine saw this on the internet for sale and rang me and said, "Christine, I've seen the most beautiful, perfect property for you. It has a private chapel. It's heritage, built in 1870, and sits on an acre of beautiful gardens in regional New South Wales. And I love this property. It's absolutely beautiful. And it was the home of each Anglican bishop until the Anglican Church sold it in 1970. And then it became a private family home. So when I bought it, it didn't quite look like this. I've worked room by room and changed lots of things, but I'm going to take you on a tour and show you all the work that we've done and show you all the spaces that our guests absolutely love. So let me take you into the library. This beautiful room was the bishop's office. When I bought Bishop's Court, this was actually a bedroom. So it was lovely thinking about every room. And after I bought the house, it just took me a little while getting a feel for the light. And one thing I love about this room is the magnificent vistas out onto the gardens. And I've developed really beautiful garden areas. So the garden's just as important as the interior to this house. Guests relax, read, enjoy the ambience of the room. And throughout the property, you'll see there's lovely collections of memory blocks that I thought suited this house and would tell stories. But it's a quirky room. There's lots of lovely details in here. And we only have one TV in the entire property. It's in the library. So people wish to watch TV, it's in here, because I want people engaging, chatting, getting to know one another, or simply having some time out from that. And that's what they do here. Relax and enjoy. I wanted this room to envelop you. So it's painted a really beautiful Prussian blue, and it's gorgeous all hours of the day. Come on, I'll bring you through the rest of the house now, and I'll show you what was the drawing room. So in this beautiful room, they would have sat by the fire in the evening. They would have had a piano in here, and this would be where they would entertain of an evening. There were a magnificent set of cedar doors in this wall. They're still in the house. I'll show you where they are in a moment. But those doors were in between the drawing room and the parlour. So we're very lucky that no one had removed those cedar doors out of the property. It has magnificent proportions. Look at that archway. Beautiful ecclesiastical details above the windows. It's lovely all hours of the day. Just beautiful. So this gorgeous room, the dining room, is perfect for all sorts of events. And I was chatting to you earlier about these magnificent cedar doors. So imagine the artisans creating these. These used to be in that wall, and they were repositioned, I would think, around 1970. In the 70s they were moved. This was the drawing room over here. Opening onto this was the parlour. So these rooms would have been the entertaining rooms in the 1870s and 1880s and 1890s and into the 1900s. And it's lovely that this room now opens into what is my living room, and there's a beautiful open fire. So in thinking about decorating this house and adding beautiful furniture, guests often ask me, "Christine, how did you acquire all of this?" Well, I came from a beautiful Federation house in Sydney, and my furniture was all too small. The scale was wrong. So gradually I'd find antique dealers, and I'd be contacting them and letting them tell me when they had a large piece. So this dining table, this is a Welsh dining table, and it's made out of beautiful walnut. It seats 14 people. It's an extension table. So of course you need to have a big house to fit pieces of furniture like this. Now, this is very special. This is one of the main reasons I bought this beautiful house. Come and see what's behind this magnificent door. This is truly magical. So this beautiful room, our magnificent little private chapel, was added to the building in the early 1900s by Bishop Long, and he came from Geelong Grammar and was used to having his own private chapel, as you do as a bishop. So he added the chapel, and it's just truly magical. Beautiful Oregon ceiling, original Bathurst brick. They took brickwork from this stables complex and built this magnificent chapel. So we use this for all sorts of private dining and events, and we do beautiful dinners in here for all sorts of occasions. It's majestic with these little apse, and from the chapel you can go straight out into the garden. The doors are all original, they're absolutely beautiful. Before I take you into the garden, I'm going to take you into my other happy place. Come with me into the kitchen. As in all Victorian houses, the kitchen was never an internal part of the house. So the kitchen to Bishop's Court Estate was way over there in the driveway. Because of naked flame in a kitchen, they didn't want the house burning down, so kitchens were always separate. And the maids lived above here in what was known as the maids' quarters, with a little staircase down into what is now my bar area. So when I bought Bishop's Court Estate, this was a very small little kitchen in here. The kitchen had been bought inside by Bishop Long, and there's still the original hatch on the wall where the baker or the milkman would have come and delivered things in the hatch in the wall there. Council then allowed me to knock the walls out, open all this up. There was about 4 little ante-rooms off this space. And originally there would have been a cellar. We've never found the cellar, but we think it's probably out through the fence there somewhere. So things like this change over decades. And when I bought this house, another thing to tell you, 1 bathroom. So I've been building bathrooms my whole life. We now have 8 bathrooms in this house. But, you know, in Victorian times, I only bathed maybe once a week, and they had a little washstand in their room. So things change. And they didn't have any running water on the hill here for 30 years. So for 30 years, butlers and maids carried buckets of water into this house. So, you know, life was very different in the 1800s. And Bathurst, being the oldest European settlement in Australia, has this majestic history of beautiful buildings like this, or built on beautiful parcels of land. And when Bishop Marsden bought the land for this beautiful house, it was originally 53 acres. Over the years, the church sold off land, and then people that bought it from the church sold off parcels of land. So it now sits on 1 acre. And things like how I've extended this kitchen, added bathrooms, they're all the things you gradually do in renovating and refurbishing beautiful properties like this. And it's probably one of my favourite things. This is a haberdasher's bench that I bought at auction many years ago, and it's over 4 metres long. It's absolutely marvellous for serving and plating up on, and it's the focal point of the kitchen. So I had to wait till we renovated the kitchen, and there were lots of little rooms off the kitchen here. So one day the builder said to me, Christine, you'll have the opportunity this afternoon to get your bench in here, and you'll have like 4 hours. When you knock that window out over there, you'll need about 8 or 10 men to help bring your bench in. So it was wheeled around the property on pipe, lengths of pipe, and carried in through that window there and put onto the concrete slab. And then we built the kitchen around it and did the floor around it. And it's magnificent. It would have been bought out as ballast, we think. So it would have come on a ship out of England. Look, the dovetailing on the drawers is absolutely magnificent. And the drawers go all the way through. So it's absolutely beautiful. And it's perfect for us working on. It's lovely having a piece of furniture that has the integrity of the house. So they would have had furniture like this in the 1800s, obviously, and it just works so beautifully in this kitchen. We've had it fully restored, and then we had a second one made to mirror this, and it will never have the patina of this bench, but it's still lovely, and guests love standing at this bench, having a glass of wine, watching us cook. It's just gorgeous. Now, the first room upstairs is the tranquility room, All the colour scheme for upstairs has all come from the vestments of the Anglican Bishop. So Bishop Richard Herford would loan me rings and beautiful vestments, and I'd select colours from all of that to paint these rooms. And this room was a favourite room of King Charles. He went to Timbertops with the Leslie boys, and they were the son of the last bishop to live here, and they would bring him here on school holidays, and this was his favourite room. And all of the rooms on this side of the property all open onto the tree level terrace. So it's an outdoor lounge room, and then you overlook the grounds and the chapel, and you get a really good sense of how this house sits on the land. Mount Panorama, out to the Blue Mountains in Sydney, out towards Mudgee, out towards Orange. And this is a perfect spot to have a gin and tonic of an afternoon, or lovely to sit up here with a cup of coffee and read in the morning. And the balcony wraps right around. So each room on this upper level comes onto this balcony, but you can vaguely see on the wall here the line of the original balcony. This is the bishop's room. It was the bishop's room. And so most of the children were born in this room. And this roof line would have been a beautiful Juliet balcony off the bishop's room, but Bishop Long added this big balcony in the early 1900s. This is a true Italianate villa-style home, and in high Victorian times, gardens were very important at these homes, and this is really the front facade of this house. So in those times, they never allowed the horses and carriages to come around the front of the property making noise if they were entertaining. So the horses and carriages came to the portico entrance at what we call the side of the house, which is our entrance. And this is really the front of this majestic property. It afforded the most beautiful views out to the Blue Mountains. And this originally, and still does, have a ha-ha wall where when they built this property, they cut the landscape away. So it was very steep incline. So horses or cattle or sheep couldn't get up into the garden. So they didn't have to have a fence. And so when you sat in this garden, the lawn extended and the garden extended and made the garden look like it just went on and on and on. So imagine this 52 acres, it's now 1 acre. When I came to look at this property, I stood on that balcony and thought, I will never see trees grow in my life. A lot of these trees are well in excess of 100 years old. I could never quite work out why that blue spruce tree is not in any of the photos in the hall. And it was just before COVID, I had a lovely couple come and stay with me from America, and I chatted to the husband. Little did I know that his wife had grown up in this house in the 70s, and she'd been to visit some family in Canada, and an aunt in Canada had given this girl's mother some blue spruce seeds. So the mother came back to Australia and planted the seeds, grew 3 blue spruce trees in her garden in Epping, and when they bought Bishop's Court, they brought an excavator in, dug up 1 tree, brought it here on a semi-trailer and planted it in this garden. And that's why that tree has such a remarkable lean on it. And that's what's not in any photos in the hall, not in any of the old photos. You know, it's a lovely added story to the garden. So we have lovely entrance for guests that are coming for events through this big gate. I planted that hedge 15 years ago, that big hedge at the front, and had that magnificent gate made with a beautiful piece of ironwork that I bought at auction from a French villa. It's just gorgeous. It's lovely to have you come and visit, and it's lovely for me to share Bishop's Court Estate with you. I think it's almost time for golden hour, where we serve our guests champagne in the library or the lounge every afternoon with our compliments. So we look forward to welcoming you anytime at all. Come and enjoy a beautiful stay with us and be nurtured.